So for those that don't know, I did a video called ranking every lyrical song in Xenoblade Chronicles. So go back and check out that video where I go through each and every lyrical song, break it down, analyzing my feelings, my thoughts, and I rank them like that. But we have a new one thanks to Future Redeemed and Nintendo dropping that on our heads, giving us only a week notice. And I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and just do an additional little video where I talk about Future Awaits. So we're gonna just see how this one stacks up. And by the way, by the time I'm recording this, I'll be streaming my start of my Tears of the Kingdom playthrough over on Twitch. That series is going to be a Twitch exclusive stream, whereas the edited versions are going to be over here on YouTube. So go ahead and follow me on Twitch. Boom, it's on screen. Boom, it's in the description. And go ahead and subscribe to me here on YouTube so you can see the edited down version and hit the bell so you get notified. And plus, much more Xenoblade content on the way. I got a whole lot coming. On to the judgment of this lyrical song, shall we? Just like before, you gotta have the whole credits team to feel the full weight of what this song can bring out of you. I mean, of course, it's about the song, but I'm trying to see the credits too, you know what I'm saying? Why not? I don't think I got to really fully entirely appreciate this when I finished Future Redeemed on stream over here on YouTube, because I was talking with chat as well, because my brain was like going with ideas and things that how I felt about the game itself. Afraid to see what could be on the other side. You're going through all the different memories, all these different events throughout each and every single game, man. They've done it again. Another lyrical song that could just punch you in the emotions. Even going through the actual words in the song too, it's just like, oof. Your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? And this is actually the Saga credits vocalist. To see what could be on the other side. Seeing Melia's brother, seeing Dixon, seeing Vinaya, seeing Ego, seeing the other Machina man, facing Nemesis, and Mayonnaise taking over Fiora, Alvis back there too. This song is such an excellent send off for each of the games in the series. Oh, can't you see how much I feel the same as you? And you just need to let it all go free. I wasn't thinking about that before. Lyrics talking about how even with your foreseeing eyes, what do you see? Either way, it doesn't matter because I feel just the same as you. You gotta open your eyes and see. Here comes Xenoblade 2. Having this in the credit was such a good thing to remind people of. Like just before, seeing adult Rex and his daughter Glimmer going at N in that fight in the exact same way when you have Rex and Pyra doing this against Malos. Eyes, and there's Poppy, there's more I get rigid. Hey, what do you hear? The Artifice, Mythra's appearance. Honestly, I am kind of salty we didn't at least see Mythra, or at least Mythra's child. And by the way, all you people that saying Black Blaze Dirk is Mythra's child, can get off the video now. I don't want you here. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, I really hate that Black Blaze Dirk as a Mythra's child theory. It sucks. It wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be funny. But that's a whole different topic. And stay where you belong. There's the Go Jin, there's Laura. Oh, I love Laura so much. Torna just made her one of my favorite Xenoblade protagonists too. What did it say there? Will you give up and stay where you belong? Okay. It's your time. It might just take too long. Okay, it sounds like it's balancing between some of the themes of Xenoblade 1 for the first part of the song, then when it switches to Xenoblade 2 section right here, switch to like the ideas and thoughts of the blades. Like in the first section when I was showing the Xenoblade 1 stuff, we're talking about seeing visions and what do you see through your eyes, and either way it doesn't matter because we both feel the same, have to open our eyes and move on. But now it's just saying, will you give up and stay where you belong, or be afraid that your time is limited and it might just take too long to accomplish the goal that you have and the time span that you have, and you won't know unless you keep on trying. And this rings true especially for the Blades ideology and existentialism, but it also rings true for the cycle of rebirth, which was part of the inspiration from both Xenogears and the Blades dilemma in Xenoblade 2. So I think that really worked as it segues into Xenoblade 3 section right here. Ooh. Of course, I got to go into the flutes transition as it goes on to Xenoblade 3 sections, and you can hear that key motif. You heard it right there, right ahead. The very first interlink, bro, the actual revelations about what causes interlinks for real at the end of Future Redeemed, bro, when I say that, like, whoosh, I was like, I have to do an addendum to that with Xenoblade Sword is superior video as well. I gotta talk about the Sword of Origin, which I will be doing. Beautiful. At first I thought by the statues in the city, it was only going to be Matthew and Niall that unlocked the true power of Ouroboros, but it was all of them. I'm ready to take down Alpha. Oh, I missed the gang, man. Might not be hard. I don't know how this song goes. The song is so nice. Future. Yo, this song. One thing that Xenoblade is so excellent at is playing the song set perfectly with what's happening on screen. Like there's so many moments to where the sound design is perfectly laid on to what's happening on screen in a way to where it's not just like boom, you have the visual track and boom, you have the audio, then you have the music track. It's like they purposely crafted the visuals on screen where events would happen at certain moments in the music, and it's just so masterful. It makes the music hit so much more. And they're even doing this in the credits theme with the lyrics that said it doesn't matter if we fail, but if there's a future, that's where we'll set our sights on. And Noah's side story exactly talked about that a whole lot. In Noah's side story, he was talking with Chris about how, so maybe there is a slight off chance the Queen of Agnes Nia is lying to us. Maybe if we end up defeating Mobius, the world may not end up being free. But at the end of the day, I still want to just cut this world free from Mobius at any cost, because what they're doing is not right. Whether the world's successfully split apart again or not, it's not about that entirely. Of course, it's a byproduct and what we do want, but even if it doesn't happen, as long as it's free from Mobius, we're good. Just like even if we do fail in that process, even if we may not make it out entirely alive, even if we do fail along the way, just like with the Blade theme in Xenoblade 2, we can pass on our Ouroboros power and our intentions to those around us that are still alive. But at the same time, what we always keep hope for the future and set our sights on it at all costs. Just completely slicing away and chopping away anything that will stop them in their past. And that's perfect as it transitions over to Zed and his Mobius forces. How Noah just completely broke away the world with his Sword of Origin, man. Broke away the whole theater and Zed's whole sham setup. It's one of the biggest things about Xenoblade 3. It's even if it may hurt and we get split apart, as long as we have a future ahead of us, we'll remain forever interlinked, hand in hand, even if we are apart. And then that's okay. You just have to keep walking on. Yeah, look at that core inside of your Ouroboros knuckles. Yeah, right beside you. Okay, as we're transitioning into Future Redeemed now. This feels like a Matthew and A segment right here. And this song is also so like, not only is it beautifully composed, not only is it beautifully set for the visuals on screen, but at the same time it just gives such a great homage to all the concepts and themes and ideas from Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, to Xenoblade 3, and even right here in the Future Redeemed. One of my favorite parts of Future Redeemed was Matthew and A's dynamic. How no matter what, it always felt like even if A was really just watching Matthew, a lot of the time A would still be able to try to ward Matthew off from doing certain things or try to stop him from doing certain things, but not being able to, and then just having to go along with him. But at the same time, A always was able to foresee what was going to happen no matter what, but Matthew had to experience it. But even at the same time, Matthew was really like the only person to where A would stutter or feel like it was necessary to watch carefully how things are said in regards to what needs to be done. You never see any other character that A talks to where he is talking to them, it's like a stutter or like a hesitation, or like it almost like instead of going from reading a script, A goes to like a very personal way of talking. Matthew is very, very conscious of how much A is doing for him and how much A has his back, and always like welcoming A into the fold, even when Matthew wants to invite A to the city after all this is over, not knowing the true end of what's going to happen. Of course, A agrees because A can't tell him about what actually happens, but it's such a nice vibe. It seems like they've been friends for a long time when they actually really, it hasn't been that long. But that's why these lyrics hit so much harder, because it feels like you feel like you've gotten no guidance of always being right beside you. And this makes me think of the scenes after the fight with Nihil Alpha in chapter 4, and Rex and Shulk told Matthew the entire story of everything. Not only made me like Matthew even more, but it made me like A more when A approached Matthew about how he felt about N and what he would do, and Matthew was just like, he killed Granddad, he's no family of mine. And then A was like, I see that, I won't stop you and I'll respect whatever decision you make. But although that's when A kind of like hesitated and said, if you hear the inside of the story, I want you to really listen and maybe make your decision from that. But no matter what the decision Matthew made, A always had his back, and every single time Matthew made such a surprise. Even there were decisions that where even A was surprised, like when he punched in after taking off his Ouroboros knuckles. Because when he punched in after he took off his Ouroboros knuckles, he wasn't trying to hurt him. That was a punch to send a message, not to harm you. It's just sending a message. It's similar to like a slap. A slap isn't supposed to be about doing damage. It's supposed to actually send a message to you. That's what that punch was. So I love how he constantly took off his knuckles for that. And even A gasped and was surprised and was like, Matthew. And before, A was talking to Shulk about how no matter what, there's always multiple paths the future can take, and what matters and what shapes the future is your will. That's why even being able to have visions like Zanza wasn't able to see him being defeated by the Xenoblade 1 crew, even with the visions, because they were able to carve their own future that they could not see. And A was going through the same thing. That's why each and every time from that point in the infight and even onwards, you could just see how proud and happy A was to be by Matthew's side. That's why in the fight with Alpha, Matthew went to go look at A. A looked back and just smiled, because A doesn't smile very often, and then stood beside Matthew and challenged him. And then when after that fight happens, and then N takes out his sword at the end, plunges it into the ground, says, release the power of Ouroboros, and he takes off his knuckles, and the pneumatic cord shows that he punches it into your ground. A is just staring at Matthew and just smiles, and you can see the camera just zoom in with the green light, and it's just like, man, A was so proud. Nonetheless, always right beside him the entire time, couldn't be more proud. And I love how the lyrics really show the Ouroboros knuckles, and even though it doesn't go through some scenes with Future Redeems, that's like a perfect encompassing of their dynamic right there, which is easily one of my favorite parts of Future Redeemed. I do wish Matthew and A had like one final good talk at the very end, but Matthew's not really that kind of guy. He's not afraid of talking, but when they had a mission and they had time to go, he was like, okay, you guys do what you need to do. Whew, just this flute exit at the end. What a way to send it off, man. Because no matter what, the flute will always be a big, huge part of Xenoblade 3. But the Offseer, hey, they got an Offseer this game too. You hear the motif right there? Classic Offseer. And then now brings in something new. Goes right back to the beginning. By the door. This right here, I didn't cry at all during the credits of Future Redeemed, but when it got to this part, I definitely choked up, man. I didn't expect to see such a sweet and peaceful representation, along with going back to the beginning of the song in a more mellow and cheerful way right after the off-scene flute goes away, and just have a nice light piano accompanied by a very soft singing. And it really takes us back to the end of Xenoblade 3 once the world split. Not long after. Just walk through, don't take too long. Oh, I need to hear exactly what these ones say right here. I see you by the door. That's funny because they're literally right next to each other among different dimensions. They can see you right here. Just walk through, don't take too long. And it just makes a perfect interlink. Everything you said, you'll find it there. So beautiful. When it showed this out, like even right now, easily became one of my favorite visual representations of something in all of Xenoblade, because it just, even though I didn't get an epilogue for this Xenoblade 3 because like I wanted, this just gave me so much happiness. I'm even like choking up right now. Like it gave me so much happiness to see such a nice, sweet representation. It's not explosive or bombastic, but it's really beautiful and elegant and peaceful as it just perfectly interlinks back into one world, bringing things back together peacefully. Oh, it's so beautiful. I love it. And then we get taken to the Xeno Saga 3 ending scene and Cosmos coming through. I'm not going to say it definitively is Cosmos because that's just the theory right now. So that's why I don't really like to say something is definitively something if it's only a theory, because nobody actually knows. People can suspect, people can theorize, people can have some evidence, but yeah, that was a beautiful song, beautiful shots, things on screen. You can see how the song perfectly goes between 1, 2 and 3's core themes and emotions and characters and dilemmas, even future redeems. Just wraps it up so beautifully with the off-seeing theme, and then at the end, just one last thing left to show you. Not even the off-seeing theme is there because that time is done too. Wow. Alright, future redeems, future awaits. Like, this had an impactful last moment as strong as One Last You, because that was One Last You's really big moment, was the very last few keys. It's like, boom. I think I'm gonna put you right here, man. Honestly, before I listened to this just now, I would have put you as a gatekeeper from SNS Plus, but man, really analyzing, dissecting that, man. Part of me wants to move the way over here too. You know what? I'm gonna do it anyway. So what? But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. That's where future awaits stack up. I've had quite a bit of people commenting where I would put future awaits among these other ones when they commented on the original video. Like I said, if you want to hear all my thoughts about all these songs to the original video, and if you're still here and you didn't go back and watch it, like I said, hey, go ahead and have fun and talk about that. Go watch that video. It's a great video. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, thank you for all for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I have a whole bunch of Xenoblade content coming soon, very much so. A lot of character analysis, other tier lists like ranking every main protagonist in Xenoblade Chronicles and all that type of stuff, and character analysis for Matthew and N and Amalthus and Shania and a whole bunch of other stuff, and some unique ones. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.